your toes is to practice. So I just practice with yourself, practice with your friends. But wonderful, look at her. She got that really fast. Repeat the question, beginning, middle, and end. Get in, say something, get out, right? Get out. All right, that's toes and structure. Let's talk really fast about filler words. Here's what I think about filler words. They get used when you don't know what you're going to say next. They get used when you don't know your material. And they get used because nobody has told you what I'm going to tell you now. The privilege of having a speaking voice and the privilege that people will listen to you will always be an honor. And it is your responsibility to use that honor wisely. And those that do will say many great things and be asked to speak in good times, in hard times, for sales reports, for pitches. And those that don't, won't. And so what I will say to you is, if you find you're using filler words, get to know your material better. Practice in front of the mirror, practice, practice, practice. And never forget what Suzanne said to you, that every filler word that you use is saying to the listener, you're not worth it for me to learn to not use this. And in honor of you, I'd rather leave an empty space. Because everyone's afraid of just an empty space. And you don't have to know what to say sometimes. Just leave a space. But a filler word takes everybody off your message because all they hear is the filler word. So the one way to get rid of filler words, it works every time, is record yourself, count how many filler words you have, and that's all you have to do. Then record yourself again, and I guarantee you the number will go down. Because when you have what I call filler word awareness, FWA, when you are aware of how precious the privilege of using your voice is, and how to count your filler words and then go, oh my gosh, I did 14 filler words, you're going to do 13. And then you're going to do 12 and 10 and 9 and 8. And then one day you're going to wake up and you go, I don't know, I don't use filler words. And then you're going to hear this. Everybody else does. Do you hear them a lot? On radio programs with really great people, you're like, oh my God, why does Barack Obama go, Hello, you're the president or past president. I sound really harsh on that, but let me tell you, if you join a Toastmasters club, there's a person in every meeting counting your ums, ahs, and filler words. And we do that because they're wasted real estate. Wasted calories. It's wasted calories. Eat something healthy. Just count your filler words, you'll get rid of them. It's easy. All right, pace and speed, well, that's practice, and that's called vocal variety, and that's called slow and fast, and that's really something you have to cultivate by being in a speaking club or practice speaking and watch some, YouTube. Actually, the links I've sent you has some really good speaking tips on that. And I don't think I'm going to say anything else except, is there anything else I have not addressed that you go, oh man, she was supposed to say that and she didn't? Because here's your chance. What did I miss? What do you have to know so that you can have a great grad? When you blank, yeah. That's a real problem. And people blank out. And if you're a blanker outer, has it happened to you? Yeah. Why do you blank out, do you think? You know what? I hate to say it. I hate to say it. I hate to say it. What am I going to say? You blank out when you don't prepare. Yeah, so do you think, let me ask you, give me a tip. If I am a person who blanks out but I'm super prepared, what did I miss? What might I do for my brain to keep oxygen in it? Yeah. So when we're afraid, like these animals are, when you're afraid, if all of your blood goes to all your extremities, it left your head, because you don't need your head to run for your life. So people who blank out tend to be low on oxygen, because that's just blood flow. And if you don't get ahead of it, when it's your turn to speak and you let all of that go, you have nothing left. And you might, who said you get started and then you lose it halfway through? It's because you lost your oxygen reserve. So you need to keep breathing profoundly while you're speaking and presenting, but you certainly need to do it well up to talking. Like, I wouldn't start deep breathing a second before I stood up. I started deep breathing an hour before I walked in this room. And you'll need to too. So see if that doesn't help you with blanking out. Anybody else? What's one burning thing? Depends how much preparation you did. How do you prepare? How do you do it? Do you still like to look at your notes right before? Yeah. Yeah. I actually think that's the worst time to look at anything you're going to say. By the time you're ready to go and do a presentation, it should be so, and this is what they'll say in speaker training, is you should always memorize the beginning and end of your presentation. So what was my first thing? I walked up in front of you and I said, public speaking is a private conversation amplified so that other people can listen in. And that's actually called like a foundational phrase. Memorize the beginning, refer to your notes for the body, and memorize the ending. I don't like the idea that you'd have to look at anything before, because it just tells me you're not prepared. Some people do. Some people need a cheat. But my cheat, you know, mine is on one. By the time I'm in front of you, I'm down to one piece of paper in case I get distracted or lost or trip over that one more time. Preparation, preparation, preparation. And then record it, right? You can do a lot with your voice memos and videos. Tape yourself and watch yourself and then count your ums and ahs. It'll go better. Anything else? One more question. What haven't you said? Who in the room has the one question that hasn't been asked? Barb, what are they not asking? These are all your disciples. Look what they're going to do in the world. What do you think they need in the weeks, months, and years to come in your industry? What do these young people need to know? Yeah, I agree. And there's nothing stopping any of you from having a speaking buddy with some accountability. The link that I sent you, Toastmasters has a thing you can do online. There's a club right here on campus. There are clubs everywhere on the planet, from Bedeck to Calgary, wherever you go. Get in a Toastmasters club, find a speaking buddy, go online and do any kind of, watch TED Talks, practice TED Talks. You have to practice because you need to tell your primal brain, it's normal for me to be a public speaker. It's just a brain game, and it's total practice. Those of you who practice, I can guarantee you'll write your own ticket. All right, I'm going to wrap up by telling you at the end, 2 people got knocked out of that competition. There were 7 of us, 2 women, 5 men. Knocked out 2 because they went over time. 4 places to go. I did not have any expectation of winning because I won because I set the bar for myself. 1, don't pass out. 2, deliver it to my favorite friend in the row. And 3, do my best and have fun. 4th place, Fred. 2nd place, Bob. 3rd place, 3, 4, 2. 1st place, Suzanne Balcom. And I'm like, what? Now I got to walk all the way back up there, and now they're going to ask me a question, and I'm going to have to talk on my toes. 1, I wasn't expecting it. It was worse than the Academy Awards for me. Totally unprepared. And then I knew they were going to. So now my heart's racing. So what do you think I'm doing walking up to the podium? I get to the podium. I don't pass out. I get the lovely prize. But here's why I'm here with you tonight. Because when it was all over and people came up and actually congratulated my husband because they thought it was funny because he was the one that got charged by the wild animal, they all asked if it was a true story. An older woman came up to me and she said, "We're so proud you won." And I'm always worried when people come up to me because I always think someone's going to get me now. I won and someone's going to have some kind of knife in my back. And she says to me, I've been here for 15 years and a woman has never won this international competition. And the blood drained from my head and it drained from my heart. I had no idea going into it that a woman had never won. But I made a decision that night when I did win, that if anyone ever asks me, to coach them on public speaking. And particularly, I'll do anything for Barb Anderson, because Barb has had my back and been at my side a number of times in my life when I've said, what am I going to do next? And for the lovely men in the room, you've got a voice. Own it, ace it, practice it, do something with it, and never take it for granted that you get to use it. Thank you very much. Now you come up. So this is what you do in Toastmasters. So now Paula comes up and she says, thank you very much. And I go, thank you for having me. And I'm just going to stay here. So it's time for everybody to go. My good friends have to go. But if anyone wants to come up and talk to me privately, you've got a link to send everything I talked about to whoever wants it. I have business cards. You can email me any private questions. It's between me and you. Certainly tell me the good things that happened from tonight. Please do. And you can go. It's a time to eat already. What is the Department of Nutrition cooking for dinner? She's going to do something. Are you going to come up, Barb?